Yo, 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 what's good, everyone? It's your boy GD, the sports actor, and we are back, people. Yes, we are back. Took a little bit of a pause between that New York Knicks end of the basketball season into this 2025 season for the NFL. Enjoyed summer, went to Yosemite, went to North Carolina, tore up the lake out there, and have a few more things before summer wraps up and before the year wraps up. But we're in July, folks, and summer's coming to a end soon. Not now. So don't be nervous. But as summer comes to an end, that only means that football is here, ready to begin. Now, we are about, I believe, 48 days away before the NFL begins. We do have, at the end of July, I think will be the earliest preseason game that we have, July 31st. And so that's going to be the first mark-off preseason. I know some people say that they don't care about preseason, but I do. I'm locked in. And so if you're looking for the exact day, time, second of when the NFL starts, I don't have that information for you, but I definitely know that your partner does. Your wife, your girlfriend, they definitely have that circled on their calendar because time's up. Time is up to where the attention span of your, your boyfriend, of your husband, it's going out the window. The tasks that need to be done over the weekend, Sunday is not going to be the day. Okay, so if you're looking for that exact day, time, second, definitely go ask your partner. I know they have it circled on their date, and they are not looking forward to it. But we are, baby. Football is finally back. You know, this lull time that we've been experiencing, we finally get to fill it in with some commentary. We finally get to fill it in with some action, some highlights, and some games throughout the week. And so I'm super excited. I'm very excited. And I just want to give a rundown. I mean, the New York Giants, ladies and gentlemen, are about to look like a totally different team. I truly believe that the New York Giants are a team that is going to be slept on going into the beginning of this season. I mean, I get it. Our season last year was not up to par. Our season last year was an embarrassment for the organization. And not only that, but we let go of one of our star players, a player that we drafted, and let him go to a rival team just so that they can run away and go win a Super Bowl and get their second Super Bowl. So it was not a good season for the New York Giants at all. Not at all. But it is a new day. And it is a new season. And that's what I love about the NFL. Last season is not this season. Whether it be with our team, whether it be with our fantasy team, this is the time to hit the drawing board, to really go in, put in that work so that you can put a product that's out there that you can be proud about. And so we've added some upgrades. You know, we're not riding the same old beat up truck. We've added some upgrades. We've traded in the truck for something a lot nicer, a lot stronger, a lot more durable and reliable, a lot more speed, and a lot more safety mirrors. And I'm super excited about this ride that we're about to take. And let's start it off. Our new players that the New York Giants had gotten this offseason. And by the way, I will say at the end of this offseason, I would have given the Giants A minus. An A. I'm not going to say A plus because I would have liked for us to get a top wide receiver, but A minus is right there. Just an A is right there. I think we really killed it in this offseason, and probably one of the better offseason that I've seen when it comes to acquiring talent and going into the new season with just a new look. So we're gonna do a roll call. We're gonna do attendance here. The New York Giants have a couple new players. Let's start it off. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart, and that's only the QB room, folks. The QB room finally has been upgraded, and this is the part where I say that we're going to be a totally different team. This is the part where I really think people are undervaluing just how many games we would have won if we could have just put points up on the board. I mean, the New York Giants defense really played great, especially in the beginning of the season, before the bye, a little bit after the bye, and you could just see that the team was just burnt out. What's the point of going maximum effort, of going, balls to the wall, always getting after it, just for you to just you know, by fourth quarter, we already know it's going to happen. The other team's just going to be able to put one or two more points up, because by that point, the defense is just so exhausted. So now we have, I'd like to think, a few answers for that. Russell Wilson coming in with that vet experience, also a champion in his own right. You have Jameis Winston, durable, also coming in with just great locker room presence to really galvanize the men. And then you have Jackson Dart coming in with that youthful aura, and he just has just an arm, just an incredible arm, and just a talent. I do believe we'll be able to see Jackson Dart sometime this season. Hopefully, I'd like to see him, not because of a injury, and we're already heading down to the second, third quarterback on our roster, but I'd like to see him because Russell Wilson is doing so well. We're winning games, and we have the ability to throw in the rookie because, a game might not be as important, and we're able to just see what Jackson Dart has and put him out there in a nice pace. And so that's what I'm really hoping for. But let's get back to the list. So we said Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter, Javon Holland, Paulson Adebo, Chauncey Golston, Jameis Hudson, and Jarius Alexander. Now, beautiful. And I want to say Hudson the third. Oh yeah, I said James Hudson. So we addressed very heavily our defense because teams were putting up points, and we needed to not only strengthen our defense, but strengthen our depth when it came to the defense. So we went ahead and we added quite a few pieces in that. And not only did we add those pieces, but I really do love the pick with James Hudson. Went out there and made sure to prioritize the offensive line as well. And we really did a great job when it came to these new additions. And rightfully so. Because if you look at this schedule that the New York Giants are about to face, it's the toughest schedule in the NFL. It's the toughest schedule for this 2025 season. And I mean, I did some reports. You can fact check me on this, maybe write it in the comments, but I believe this is the toughest schedule a team has faced in the last 20 years. So it makes sense why the Giants went ahead and got all these upgrades, because we're going to need it. It's not like our path is going to be a walk in the park. We don't have the Chiefs schedule. We got a real schedule. All right, we got to play some football so that once we get into the playoffs, there will be no discussion about us walking into there. It will be said that the New York Giants turned this season around, went through one of the toughest schedules and made it into the playoffs, and now are on the horizon looking towards the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't think anything sounds better than that. That is poetry to my ears. So we have one of the toughest, schedules. And I think we're going to do well. To be honest with you, I put my expectations for wins, losses for this season. And I'll go through another video breaking down which teams I believe we're going to be able to beat and which teams we might struggle with. But I believe that the Giants are going to go 10-7. I'll give you a moment to digest that again. Again, I believe the New York Giants are going to go 10-7. I'd like to say 11-6, but I'm going to sit in reality. Okay? 10-7 is where I see the New York Giants placing. I do see them making it into the playoffs, but as I said before, the schedule is going to be significantly difficult. I mean, our home schedule is pretty brutal. We have 8 home games, and 6 of those home games are teams that made it into the playoffs and had, very good success into the playoffs. As we well know, our division is also tough. The New York Giants in our division are the Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Philadelphia Eagles. And when it comes down to it, all of those teams are really good. They can beat you on any given Sunday. And when you walk into any of those stadiums for those teams that you have to come correct. Especially now that the Commanders have caught up with Jaden Daniels over there, they're really, now you look over your shoulder and you worry about the Commanders. Who knew? Who would have thought it'd be the day? But as I said before, we've added a lot of pieces. And I really think that's going to put us in a different position than a lot of other teams, and even the teams within our own division. I mean, if we're looking at the other teams, let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles, they still have the same offense. Yes, Saquon is still a problem. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, maybe they'll get their numbers increased. I mean, it's not like they really played out of this world last year. A lot of the focus was on Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts just running the ball and doing what they needed to do. They didn't really need to even throw. But I think that will change this year, as more people will definitely be stacking the box against Saquon Barkley. And as I said before, the Eagles have lost, quite a few people, and they're going to be looking a lot different, especially on their defense. They lost quite a few people. They lost Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Darius Slay, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And then they also, Brandon Graham retired and Bryce Huff was traded. So their front line, they still have Jalen Carter over there, and he's still an issue, but not as much of a threat when you get rid of Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You can now manipulate and move the ball in the air on the Eagles. And that is going to be fun, because that is exactly why we went to go get Russell Wilson. That is exactly why we re-signed Darius Slayton. We went and continued to put energy into Wan'Dale and Jalen Hyatt, and I think those things are going to produce. You have Theo Johnson out there, Daniel Bellinger, and I mean, the New York Giants are really stacked right now. And it's unfortunate that just because of everything that had happened last season, that a lot of people are going to ignore that. They're going to ignore it. It's just how it is. We're just going to go off last season and say that the Giants have sucked. And I guess, and I get it. There's nothing on paper, just a bunch of names, but there's no results. There's nothing behind the name. And so, just got to become a household name brand. A household brand, name brand. All right, we're going to work on that. Now let's go down to the Commanders. Now the Commanders, they went ahead and they added a few pieces, and they've been churning. I mean, they have a lot of money to bring people onto their team. They added a left tackle through Laramie Tunsil, and then they also brought in Deebo Samuel, which should help Jaden Daniels. This should help him out a lot. You still have Brian Robinson. You still have Terry McLaurin. And so we'll see. The Commanders will be very interesting. Me personally, I think that they will be experiencing their year two, or Jaden Daniels will be experiencing his year two sophomore slump, as most NFL players tend to have into their year two. We can see that happen with C.J. Stroud just recently, how he played phenomenally his rookie year, and not so much last year, was kind of dull. And so, we'll see what happens with the with the Commanders, but for now they've added a few pieces, and they probably still need a few more pieces while they're putting everything together. We have the Dallas Cowboys, and they're going to be very interesting. I mean, they brought in Matt Eberflus. They also promoted their offensive coordinator as their head coach, Brian Schwarzenheimer. Since Mike McCarthy just couldn't do it, and they got him out of there. So it will be a new head coach. They also brought in Clayton Adams, who is the former Cardinals offensive line coach, with his first opportunity to coordinate the offense at the NFL level. So a lot of new things for the Dallas Cowboys. Zach Martin, longtime guard, he's gone. You just now added George Pickens along with CD, and the Dallas Cowboys haven't really had that 1-2 punch that 1A, 1B. So it'll be very interesting to see what Dak Prescott is able to do back from injury when it comes to feeding his receivers. I really don't think it'll matter when it comes to facing the New York Giants. I think we're going to be all over that and be able to shut down any ability to throw the ball. I really do believe in that front four, that front seven. And so yeah, I mean, they also signed, it looks like, Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders to help in the backfield. Other than that, I believe Zeke Elliott is still, I think they brought back Zeke, and he's still on the team. So the New York Giants have, I believe the doors are wide open. Okay. The only thing that is going to stop the New York Giants from being successful is really themselves. They have all of the talent. They have all of the mental, genius of Brian Daboll and how he's been able to work with quarterbacks of past, Tua, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. I really do think that the New York Giants just needed to find a quarterback. And there's been some talk about, if Jackson Dart is ready, you put him in. But at the end of the day, there's no rush to put in Jackson Dart when you have a healthy, ready-to-go Russell Wilson on a 1-year contract. You try to use that as much as you can to help your QB who's coming into the league. To give him that confidence that he's ready whenever his number is called. And so I'm super excited for this season. Definitely going to be talking, a lot more about breakdowns next week as training camp does roll around. It's going to be very exciting to be able to have material to speak on and to be able to see some footage and photos from, everything that's happening at training camp and to hear some of the matchups between wide receivers and corners. It's super exciting right now, okay? Super exciting right now. So just want to say like, subscribe, comment. It's going to be an amazing ride, so let's ride. And let's encourage and support the New York Giants, all right? And appreciate you guys. If you stayed through the whole video, let me know what I could do better. Send a message, send a DM, or if you have my number, just text me, or you could just write in the comments as well. Just be transparent and continue to work. But we're back, baby. We're back. So appreciate you guys. Let's continue tuning in, supporting each other, and let's go blue. Yeet.